welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video you're seeing me, welcome to my channel. Please hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my experience on crocheting. So for those who, if you guys saw my channel, like my crochet stitch tutorial, or some of my crochet tutorials, you know that I crochet a little bit. But I've been doing it since I was about 12 years old. And I'm going to talk about my experience of crocheting. You're probably thinking, didn't you already make a video of this? No, not this. Actually, no, I didn't, because I did make a video on my experience with knitting, and if you wish to see that video, I will link it down below if you want to see that video. So I'm going to get started on talking about my experience with knitting, and crocheting. Sorry, my brain's not working right now. No, and I'm going to get started. So this all started when I was about 11 years old. I lied. I said I crocheted since I was 12. I actually have been doing it since I was 11. My bad. Sorry, I get the ages screwed up. Anyway, so this all started when I was 11 years old. I went to Joanne Crafts. I think it was Joann's. I don't remember. But I was at a craft store, and I'm pretty sure it was Joanne Fabrics. And I got into Joanne Fabrics with my mom because we were getting crafts to do for camping, because we were going camping that week. And I found this kit, and it was a crochet kit, and I thought I'd give it a try because it was something really interesting to me, and I thought it would be fun to do. So I bought the kit. My mom and I bought the kit, and so what we did was we decided to have me practice crocheting and stuff like that. So I had to learn from like 3 different people. Like, I learned from my sister's aunt, who was also my aunt at the time. I tried learning from my other aunt. I still was confused, and then my mom tried to teach me, and I was still confused. So after camping, my mom decided to take me to this little yarn store, which is kind of not really in business anymore, this local yarn store in my city. And we found these elderly ladies who actually knew how to crochet. So they tried to teach, so they taught me how to crochet too. And I kind of picked it up a little bit. And then my mom and I went and got me some other yarn so I could try crocheting a scarf, because I wanted to try crocheting a scarf, because like I hear scarves are easier projects for people who are beginner crocheters or knitters. So I decided to try an easy scarf. And okay, Brandon, sorry. And then I worked on the scarf and stuff at the with the ladies at the store. And then my scarf didn't really turn out good because my rows were going this way instead of being straight. But it was my first crochet project, and I was super proud of myself, and my mom was proud of me too, because this was actually the first thing that I never really gave up on. Even though I had a really hard time with it and I kept getting confused, I still would keep trying and trying, no matter how difficult it was for me. Because like when I was little, I had a bad habit of giving up on things so easily. I kind of do still, but not too much, but not as much as I used to. But after I got the hang of it, it worked. I started getting so much better at it the more that I kept trying and stuff like that. Even though I wasn't as good as I expected to be, I still just kept trying and trying. Like, if I was making, like, here's an instance, if I was making a coaster, it would end up like a bowl and stuff like that. Because I didn't read the pattern right. Because at that time, I never knew how to read patterns. And then when I was crocheting a scarf, my rows would end up this way instead of straight. But still, even though my rows were terrible, I still really had fun with the hobby. One thing I loved about crocheting was you could make ponytail holders with it. Like you would take a regular scrunchie, and you can make a loopy scrunchie, or you could also make like a ruffled scrunchie and stuff. And I really enjoyed making ruffled scrunchies and stuff. But I had so much fun, even though I wasn't as good as it like my mom and my aunt were. I still kept, like, all my projects just kept turning out really bad. But over the years, I've actually practiced, and I've gotten so much better at it now. I'm way better than I was when I first started. Even though I'm not as like good as it, even though I feel like it takes longer, I still kind of enjoy practicing crocheting a lot more than I did when I was younger and stuff. Even though I did enjoy it when I was younger, it was really fun. A lot of people my age actually don't know what crocheting is. Because, well, when I was younger, a lot of my friends never knew what crocheting was, but I would just like tell them what it is and stuff like that, because a lot of people seem to get, again, a lot of people, my stepdad at the time, he would think I'd be knitting when I was actually crocheting, and I kept correcting him about it, and I'm like, it's crocheting, Dad. And I called my stepdad Dad, just so you guys know. No, and he'd be all like, whatever, whatever, because like a lot of people I've noticed do get crocheting and knitting screwed up, because like I think it's because they both involve yarn, that a lot of people don't know the difference. Because again, for those who are confused of the difference, knitting is with 2 or 4 needles, and then crocheting is with just a plain hook and stuff. So even though I wasn't as good as crocheting as my mom and my aunt were, I still just kept trying and trying, no matter how difficult it was for me. I even crocheted in the hospital a couple of times when I was going through chemo, because I wanted, because I thought it would be fun to get my mind off things. I also wanted to learn how to knit, like by the time I was like 12 and stuff like that. Because I thought actually my grandma knitted, but actually she didn't knit. My grandma, my dad's mom, but she didn't knit. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off topic. And I learned how to knit. And fun fact, as I learned how to knit, I got so used to holding the yarn in my left hand, because that's what I would do with crocheting, because I learned how to crochet before I learned how to knit, so I got so used to holding the yarn in my left hand rather than my right hand, which is what a lot of people actually normally do when they're knitting, is hold the yarn in their right hand, as opposed to crochet when they hold their yarn in the left hand. And which I find pretty cool. So that's like a pretty cool fact. So some of you guys probably know this, like if you first learn how to crochet, you kind of get so used to holding the yarn in your left hand rather than your right hand that you start knitting continental. And that's how I learned how to knit when I was 13, is I learned how to knit continental from one of my mom's friends. So if you guys like knitting, never mind, sorry, I'm getting a little off topic. So because I did the continental knitting, I got so because I held the yarn in my left hand, I just got so used to doing continental knitting, because a lot of people, I find like a lot of people think it's easier to crochet with the yarn in their left hand, and if they're knitting, they hold it in their right hand. But it depends on your personal preference usually. Okay, that's what I've noticed. Okay, so that was a little off topic. So, sorry about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was my experience on crocheting. I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!